Darci's Corner. We're December 28th, I think. Um, it's bright and early in the morning. Uh, and life's going pretty good, I guess, all in all for me. Uh, I guess one of the things I wanted to talk about that's been on my mind a lot, I've brought it up before, and uh, I do think I'm going to post this. Now that I said that, maybe I won't, but I think I'm going to post this. I recorded two Darcy's Corners the other night, but I didn't post either one of them because the lighting was crap, for one. But also, I was venting a lot of anger at people that are close to me and family members and stuff. And where that anger comes from, for all people, all trans people, especially the adults, okay, this doesn't apply necessarily to the children or to those who were privileged enough to transition in their teens and early 20s. And if you were, oh, God bless you. And if it was a difficult transition, I'm really sorry. I'm not saying you didn't suffer or pay a price when you did that. I'm sure it sucked. Try doing that when you're 30 or when you're 40. Okay? Because you have to give up everything. And not only that, but everything you've done up till that point kind of doesn't count anymore. I am so angry about the years of my youth that were stolen from me that I could have put into becoming myself. And then right now, I'd be on a different career path. Maybe I'd still be working at a retail store, but it doesn't matter. I'd be me. I'd be seen as me. And I would be making those choices. And my gender or gender transition would not be determining my future and what I have to do next. All of this is so very hard to do, and it's really hard to do when you're, well, probably at any age, really. Like, if I'd been doing this as a kid, I would have wanted to quit. I would have found it hard. But, like, within a couple of months, I would have had it down. Right? I would have been learning how to sit, and I would have been learning how to walk, and I've been studying the speech patterns of the gender I was trying to emulate. Because you see, at the age of 10, when I put this away, or I thought I put it away, I decided, no, I'm gonna be him. I'm just gonna focus on him now. I did not understand, because how could I? I was 10. That this is a lifelong condition that you have to deal with. And if you deal with it when you're 10, or 12, or 15, I mean, puberty, growing up, is hard for everybody, okay? So it's going to be hard. There's going to be kids that make fun of you. You're going to feel stupid. By the way, that's what dysphoria is. Dysphoria is feeling stupid or uncomfortable in any given situation because you don't understand how to do it. And it feels wrong, and it looks wrong, and it doesn't matter how you do it, it's still wrong. That's dysphoria. Okay? Everybody is capable of feeling dysphoria. It's just that generally speaking, we don't call it that, and we don't think about it much in the cisgender world. In the transgender world, it sucks. And not only that, the feeling of dysphoria, like, for some of us, it's very consistent, and for others, like myself, it comes and goes, so I never know when I'm going to get set off or not. I could be fine for the next week, and then tomorrow I'll be in a puddle on this couch, just curled up, crying my eyes out because, I'm stuck in an ugly man body with an ugly man voice and an ugly man face. And that's what the world sees when they see me. They see a man in a dress or a very ugly woman, right? I'm a fine-looking dude. I'm a very ugly chick. Um, whatever. But the reason I'm an ugly chick is because I'm trying to do this at 40. If I would have done this at 15, it would have been like that. and whatever the feminine version of this is what you would see right now. The shoulders probably wouldn't be as big as they are. But even if the shoulders were big, there's bigger girls out there. It's fine to be a bigger girl and still be a girl. I've dated, worked with, been around many a large girl who were very definitely feminine. Nobody ever called them sir. Every time I go to the gas station or wherever, I get called sir or thanks, man. All of this could have been avoided if I would have done this when I was a child. But nobody asked me. Nobody gave me the option, right? Now, it could have been screwed up then, too. Like, there are people who detransition. You know why? I don't exactly. I'm not a professional. But I suspect the reason why people detransition, and you can ask them, first of all, the symptoms of dysphoria and depression mimic each other. So they just mistook depression for dysphoria. And then they focused on what they thought was causing the depression, which was their gender. And then later realized that that wasn't the thing. Or, this is another one that I've heard, and I've heard this from another non-binary person. The first non-binary person that I related to, actually. It was on a YouTube video, and he was they were 70, and they transitioned fully one way, and then back the other way part way. So I think they were assigned male at birth. But that's not relevant. What is relevant is this person did this 30 years ago, and so we didn't always understand that some of us are non-binary, and some of us are happy in between or only want this part or that part changed, whatever that happens to be. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we didn't understand that for a long time, and we're only just kind of barely understanding it now. So it makes sense that mistakes will be made. You know what was a mistake that was made for me? I didn't transition at all when I was a kid. For me, that was a mistake. If I would have transitioned 100% in my youth, maybe I wouldn't be happy today, because there are masculine parts of me that I like and want. Or I thought I liked and wanted. Honestly, the more I get into this, the more I'm like, well, maybe I wouldn't mind complete transition. But I don't know. But I'm not pushing it. But that's not the point. The point is, why am I figuring this out now at 40 when I could have figured it out when I was 14? I know that there are certain people with political aspirations who are saying, well, kids can't know this stuff. They can if you educate them. What I didn't know at 10 is that people who think about being the opposite gender semi-frequently or all the time or even once in a while, those people have a condition. It's called transgender. That's the condition. Okay, now how you deal with that is up to you. And whether or not that means they want to go binary or non-binary, that means that there are some little boys who believe 100% they're little girls and that's all they want to do. Some little girls believe 100% they're little boys and that's all they want to do. There are little children like me who was a little boy who liked to do little girl things and sometimes wished he could be a little girl, but still really liked little boy things like climbing trees and chasing frogs or whatever the thing was. So there has to be flexibility, but it's just so much easier from a lifestyle point of view when people who are able to do this as children. People like myself sometimes are jealous of those people, and I mean, of course we are. We're like, where was this when we were kids? But it's here now, and it should be available to every child who has these thoughts and feelings. It should be explained to them what those thoughts and feelings mean, and that at some point in your life you're going to have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with it now if you don't want to, but it's so much easier in your youth than it is when you're older. That should be explained to children. Apparently that needs to be explained to adults, because too many of them do not understand how this condition works and how it affects us. We are not monsters, and we are less confused than you think we are. When we tell you we have an issue with our gender, believe us and help us sort through it. We're all basically humans, okay? But the binary, the gender, is like not as cut and dry as we were taught. At least as I was taught in school, in elementary school and high school. I was not taught about transgender issues at all. And I should have been. It should be part of the curriculum. It should be no different than learning that some people are left-handed and some people are right-handed. Some people are transgender, some people are not. Most people are not. But some of us are. And that should be taught in our schools. Darci's Corner.